And welcome back to Sports the Nemo Way, the John Stockton episode. The 6'1", 170-pound point guard is a zero-time champ, zero-time MVP. He's a 10-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA. He's played 19 years in the league after being the number 16th overall pick, and he is a Hall of Famer, with career averages of 13, 2, and 10 on 51% shooting. And now, since I didn't ask beforehand, I'm going to kick to Ray, who has him ranked the lowest of anybody.
I figured we was going there first. That's okay.
At number 38 overall and number 8 on his point guard list.
All right, here we go. John Stockton, one of the most phenomenal players to never win a title. But you'll have to have that in a decade run by Michael Jordan. But give this man some props. He holds the record as the top guy in assists and steals. And he's a point guard. He wasn't as flashy as, say, Kidd, which we talked about last week. That's not necessarily a knock on the guy. I mean, he went to 2 straight NBA Finals and took those Bulls teams to the limit. 6 games, but, I mean, they took him pretty far. And that says something about the Jazz team and the level of competition they had to go against in that era. Elijah on Houston with the Jet, Peyton and Kemp in Seattle, the Admiral in San Antonio with Avery Johnson, the Lakers with Shaq and Nick Van Exel, and the up-and-coming Kobe Bryant. Some of the best point guards that may not make it to the Hall of Fame, but still good-ass point guards. But the reason he's not higher for me is that even though with all that, he never got a title. That's why Kidd is a little higher than Stockton. But those two are both phenomenal players. I just had to take the title, which I almost never do. But if Stockton could have at least beat the Jordan team at least once, both Carl and Stockton could have been in discussion for top 10 all time. But still, I got to show props and love and respect for John Stockton as one of the greatest of all time.
Fair enough. Well, I shouldn't even say that. Not fair enough. You just said if Stockton could have beat Michael. No, okay. Well, I got you, Ray.
You know what I'm saying.
That will lead us to Drew, who has him ranked 33rd overall and 5th on his point guard list.
Oh, well, with John Stockton, it's another one of those players where Michael will be another guy that put on his checklist of people that he didn't let get a title.
Yeah.
Another great. He just threw down and said, no, I'm just going to make this last second shot, second year in a row, go home, bye, whatever. Well, John Stockton's obviously one of the greatest passers of all time, if not the greatest passer of all time. He obviously has most assists of all time and steals, which I think the steals intrigues me more than the assist does, actually. Because for him to be able to, at 6'1", and be able to get steals and stuff, which I know they could play more physical back then, he could get more up in them and do it, but I still think that's impressive that he was still able to do that. Because some people just play passing lanes and get steals like that, but I feel like a lot of his steals are actually him getting up on people, playing good defense, and playing good defense, but he was also on the defensive end, got on other people, and mismatched, and they scored on and took advantage of him. But I think he also played some good defense at times.
All right, now that'll kick to Uncle Doug, who has him 31 overall and also 5 on his point guard list.
Yeah, John watched a lot of John Stockton, Karl Malone back in the day, and he was everything you wanted in a point guard. I mean, he played defense. Only one person's better at assists than him, and that's Magic.
Yeah.
And actually, Stockton and Magic are the only 2 players in NBA history to average double-digit assists for their career. They're the only 2. Stockton has more assists, but Magic had higher average. he didn't finish high in the MVP votings. He didn't get a title. That's why he's farther down my list. All the guys I have ranked ahead of him on the point guard list all have titles. But he was an amazing point guard.
All right. Well, that would kick us to Wade, who has him 28 overall and number 6 on his point guard list. But as becoming the usual, Wade is not here. So that shows to me where there will be a large jump here, gentlemen, where I have him number 13 overall and number 2 on my point guard list.
Ooh, let's hear this argument.
But I have a question
Yeah,
first.
I'm pulling out the list.
How can you be a 10-time All-Star and an 11-time All-NBA?
I know. Hey, this guy, I noticed that.
How do you have more All-NBAs than All-Star teams?
Normally we talk about it the other way. Hey, you have more All-Star games because they just say, oh, he's
Well,
a common name. We'll throw
You
him
play
in
in
the game.
Utah.
Yeah, that may be true, yeah. I didn't get enough votes because I was in
They're
Utah.
like,
Yeah.
we'll give you Karl Malone, but that's it.
Well, I mean,
Who
think
did
about
he get beat out by?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
the classic John Stockton story that I love was when he was on the Dream Team, and they were in Barcelona, and he was walking downtown with his wife and kids, and they ran into a lady from the United States, and she was talking. She was wearing a Dream Team shirt with his picture on it, and he starts talking to her, and she didn't recognize him, and his little boy points at her shirt and says, "Daddy," and she still didn't get it, and he just laughs and walks away.
Well,
he drove to the stadium to play his games in a minivan.
Right? Yeah.
yeah,
I
he
mean,
pulled up in the minivan with the fam and the
Yeah.
strollers. It says, time
he
to get
was
my
just
gold
that
medal.
guy.
Yeah. I think I told the story in a past episode. I can't remember what episode it was, but Chris Webber says he's the biggest gangster in NBA history.
Yeah.
Because anybody
Yeah.
that can roll up in a minivan with 8 kids and bust your ass on the court afterwards is a gangster.
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about the 92 Olympic team, guess who led the team in blocks on that 92 Olympic team?
Not Bob Pettit.
Well, it's not Bob Pettit because they didn't keep track of him, or he would have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, all
It
right.
was John Stockton.
No shit.
No, it's on TikTok. That's where I got. That's my TikTok.
Oh, we got to TikTok early.
Yeah,
we got
we had,
TikTok.
we had John Stockton led the Dream Team in blocks.
That's insane.
That is.
That's crazy. All right, my opening statement for John Stockton. There are 5 main stats we cover in NBA: points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. John Stockton is the all-time leader in 2 of the 5. Nobody else can say that. Jabbar is the all-time scoring leader. Chamberlain's the all-time rebound leader. Olajuwon's the all-time blocks leader. And Stockton is the all-time leader in the other 2. It's hella impressive. He's an 11-time All-NBA. He's a 9-time assist champ. He was super efficient. He's second all-time in assist-to-turnover ratio. To Chris Paul, by the way, Drew.
Oh no, he's still a loser.
Hey, calm down.
We
Calm
still
down.
have hope for Chris.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying I'd hate if he won one. I don't hate on Chris Paul. I'm just saying
14-game win streak.
Well, I've been
Calm down.
alive. He'll still find if they're up. They're up 2-0. They're gonna lose.
Hey.
He's the only player to do it 4 times.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Leave
back
him
to you,
alone.
Alex.
Well, here's the way I look at John Stockton. If I was going to build a point guard, the mold of a point guard, it would be a guy that was pass first. That's John Stockton. It would be a guy that's efficient. That's John Stockton. It would be a guy that is a good defender and hounds point guards and creates turnovers. That's John Stockton. And it would be a guy that takes care of the ball and doesn't turn it over. That is also John Stockton. John Stockton, as far as I'm concerned, is the mold for a great point guard. And then for those of you that are wondering, no, Magic Johnson is not the mold for a great point guard because he breaks the mold. He's 6'9". He's doing crazy things that we can't expect out of guys like him. So no, Magic Johnson is not the mold for a point guard. John Stockton is. And to put into perspective John Stockton's assist totals, Chris Paul is currently in his 17th season in the NBA and is third all-time in assists. He still needs 5,400 assists to catch John Stockton. And just so you know, Chris Paul has never had an 1,000 assist season in his life. John Stockton did that 7 times. That is my opening statement on John Stockton.
Yeah. Well, we're going to play Alex's favorite game, but Drew and Ray are going to start it off by asking Alex first.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to play why do you have this person ahead of this person?
Okay. Music cue. Da-da. And
Dun,
here we
dun.
go.
Yeah, there you go. What did we call it last episode?
Alex is something corner.
I don't know. Why don't you keep track of this shit? Why don't
Well, it
we
was something to do with court. That's why I said I needed the
gavel.
from
From Law and Order.
the Law and Order sound.
Yeah.
It was Alex's something.
I don't
Shoot,
know.
I can't remember what she
Oh
said.
my God.
Yeah, no, we suck. Sorry.
We gotta
Son
get
of
these
a
segments down so we can.
Yeah.
You want me to go first, Ray, or do you want
Yeah,
to?
go ahead.
Well, Alex, why do you have John Stockton above Isaiah Thomas? Since
Well, they did play in the same era. But like I said, I do view John Stockton as the mold of a point guard. And the other thing that Stockton really has on Isaiah is longevity.
Yeah.
Like so many players from that era, Isaiah's career ended abruptly after an injury. Not that his career is like super short or anything. I'm not trying to say that, but I mean, Stockton played for 19 years, made the playoffs that whole time, did some great things. Isaiah does have the 2 titles, which I'm not trying to take away from him.
and a Finals MVP.
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stockton had some really great finals moments. We don't remember them because Michael, won the game with the game winner at the end, like you said.
Yeah, he goes. John Stockton does something great, and then Michael goes down and shoots the game winner. So I mean,
It was at Game 5 in '97 where Stockton sends the game to Game 6 because he hits a 3 to win the game at the buzzer. And I can't remember if it was 97 or 98. Stockton hits the 3 to send the Rockets home to go to the NBA Finals to play the Bulls. Stockton was a clutch player and came up big in big moments a lot. His biggest problem, I think, was his running mate was the opposite. Karl Malone was a choke artist, and Karl Malone shrunk in big moments. And what is probably the most televised moment of Karl Malone's career?
Missed free throws?
missing free throws.
Well, that, or I was going to say Mike stealing the ball from him at the end of Game 6.
That's true.
Yeah.
We just came up with 2 big moments where he folded.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to say Karl Malone sucks. I'm really not. He just came up short and came up small in big moments and in big games in his career. And I think that, in a nutshell, held John Stockton back. Not that I think he would have beat MJ in 97, 98, mind you. It's MJ stuff, but they did push him to 6 games, and it was a crazy time. I just think Stockton did more what I want out of a point guard and didn't have to rely on abusive tactics and dirty basketball to get there.
That's fair. I understand that. Okay.
Roger.
I do, but where do you have Isaiah compared to Stockton?
Just one place higher than him.
One
I'm
place higher.
flip flop from you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I have Isaiah one place lower than Stockton, not a big jump. Yeah.
I'm just
Uncle Doug, where do you have the 2 of them?
I have overall I have Isaiah 2 spots ahead of him, and on the point guard list,
Let me look over.
let me look here.
Because Ray, you have Stockton ahead of Isaiah.
And I have Isaiah 1 spot ahead of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's somebody else I have above John Stockton that we're not going to talk about, or maybe somebody's noticed it, and I hope nobody's noticed it.
I have Isaiah Thomas 3 spots ahead of John Stockton.
On your point guard list or on your overall list?
Overall.
Oh, overall. Okay, gotcha. I don't know. I'm not looking at your list, Ray, but you have Stockton rated higher than Isaiah as well.
Yeah.
What was your reasoning?
I mean, I think probably the big reason is Isaiah was the top player on the team, and he got beat out by an MVP vote.
Here we are with Dumars again.
We had to go to Dumars. I mean, what the fuck, dude? I mean, how the fuck do you lose to that? I mean, Dumars is a great player, but how do you lose to that? Come on.
Right.
I'll never let that go. I will never, ever, ever let that go.
Here's my question, Ray. Do you have Dumars rated higher than Isaiah?
No. Well, let me talk.
Wait.
I figured out who it is. Let me say who it is, Ray.
Who is it?
Charles Oakley.
You have Oakley rated higher than Isaiah?
Charles Oakley's 36.
I have Oakley. Look, I have Oakley rated higher than Isaiah. And then once we come to this point, I didn't want to talk about this, but I also have Charles Oakley rated above John Stockton.
No, you don't. Oh, my God.
And I didn't want to talk about that, but...
And Dominique.
Which Charles Oakley is going to get fucking... Charles Oakley's going way down the list after this whole situation.
He needs to come right off the list, Ray.
Yeah.
Clyde Drexler. I didn't even know
Look,
this.
Look, Giannis is going on the list. Oakley's coming off. That's just how
Is
it's
Oakley
going.
your number 10 power forward?
I think Rodman's my number 10.
Yeah, and Sean Kemp's 9.
Yeah.
Oakley's 8.
So
Oakley's 8.
so
Okay.
Giannis is probably going in the Oakley spot.
Okay.
So
Alright.
I'm pretty embarrassed about that, but I mean that's how shit goes
I
sometimes.
can't believe you got Oakley ahead of Stockton, man.
I know.
That's crazy.
I see why
But
Alex likes playing this game.
look at the list though. Stockton would probably go in the Oakley spot, but that's as far as it goes because of the title situation.
You hate titles. You always talk about how titles don't matter. Why is it all of a sudden a title
Why do you
thing?
have Steve Nash ahead of Stockton? 'Cause
I know, but I mean, like I said, like the competition was great in the '90s, but like I said, if John Stockton would have won at least one title, he would have been in at least the top 10 situation.
Hey man, I'm not trying to talk about how titles don't matter. You know I don't believe that.
Right.
But you bash on my belief in
I
that
do.
constantly.
I do.
So how are you going to try to turn this around and tell me about titles?
I mean, some situations it happens. I mean, I can't help that. Like Jason Kidd.
Okay, so explain Reggie.
Reggie.
Reggie is 26. He's above Steve Nash and John Stockton.
Hey, Reggie is a biased opinion.
You have Grant Hill above Reggie and
No,
Stockton.
what?
Grant Hill was a phenomenal player. Grant Hill
Hill's number 24 on your list.
It sucks that he had an injury.
It does suck. I agree with
But
that.
his skill set was miles above about half the list.
You have Grant Hill above
Miles
David
above
Robinson.
half the list.
David Robinson.
I don't look. Grant Hill's stats I don't worry about. His skill set was miles above half this list we have here.
For 5 years.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. I can't help that.
I wish we
I
had-
can't help that
No,
he
I
got
know you
injured.
can't help it.
I can't help he got an injury.
I wish
My
we had-
bad.
I wish we
My
had this
bad. I
game.
was in high school and I was doing homework. That I can help him get through an injury in fucking Detroit. I'm so sorry.
I wish Grant Hill. No, dang it. Now you got me thinking about Grant Hill. I wish we had this game when we did like the Grant Hill Charles Oakley. This
Oh,
stuff when
fuck
it
you,
came up
Lakers. You're
months
Pacers.
ago. You said the Lakers won.
Yeah, they're getting close.
They're getting close. Oh, jeez.
All right, so what's your next one, Drew?
For you?
Yeah, for me.
All right, let me go back to your list. I was looking at Ray's real quick.
Yeah, don't look at mine.
You got any for me, Ray?
Me and Alex will.
Just the let's see here. I had
gotta
one
find
and then I got
Stockton
distracted.
again.
Fuck my life.
Why do you have?
Oh, by the way, just so for Wade, I want to shout out to Wade. John Stockton is the all-time leader in win shares for point guards.
Oh, way to go.
Yeah,
I know.
207.
Yeah, 207. Yeah, that's more than 100 more than Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Why do you have John Stockton ahead of Moses Malone? One-time champ, 3 MVPs.
Yeah.
there you go.
I was actually looking at the Stockton ranking. He probably should come down slightly. I'm not saying a ton, but slightly on my list. I think because Stockton was number 2 on my point guard list, and I think at that point I'm like 5 or 6 centers in. I'm like, I need to change it up and get a different position in here.
Yeah, you got 4 centers already.
Yeah.
Before you get them alone.
And so it's like, maybe I need to slot him in there. But I think also it has to do with era and just the all-time accomplishments as is an all-time great point guard.
All right. Well, I went with a point guard, and I went with a non-point guard. So if anyone else has got one, they can jump in.
What about Durant? What set you off on Durant? Why you got him above Durant?
I think I've talked about this in past episodes. I'm a big guy on finished products. So I don't remember, there was an argument about this. I think it was maybe Ewing. Somebody asked me why I had Ewing ranked higher than somebody that was a current player. And, it's just sometimes I'm like, you know what, they're still playing. Let's see what their career ends up like before I say they're better than somebody that had a 19-year career. Not only that, but I do agree with some of what Ray says about KD.
Okay.
KD does play in a weaker era. But on top of that, KD did the let's just put it out there like it is. KD did the ultimate, and I mean the ultimate bitch move in NBA history by joining the Warriors.
Yeah.
That is the biggest bitch move in NBA history.
He lets them come back 3-1 on him, and then he goes and joins them. It's literally the quote-unquote, if you can't beat them, join them.
No, yeah, 100%. And it's not like Westbrook went out there and choked that series away. Durant had some real clunker stinker games.
Yeah.
When the Warriors came in and closed them out.
And not just 1 or 2, it has to be a couple when they come back 3-1.
Yeah.
You can't just. It's not like it was tied and he just had one bad game. You have to have a couple for them to be able to come back.
100%. So I do hold some of that against Kevin Durant. So I haven't really been outspoken about that. I've been waiting for the Durant episode, which Mark will come here, and Mark has heard my argument over and over again, and we get pretty heated about it. But Wade is a big KD fan and will not like me calling him a little bitch, but that's what he is. He's good. He's talented. He's a great player, but he is also a little bitch that is mentally weak and can't handle people on Twitter talking bad about him because he has to create accounts and go on and talk shit.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, I love KD. I've been alive for as well, and I've seen all this in person, and I love KD, but he is a cupcake. He literally is. If you can't, you're really making all this money and stuff, you can't handle people, not like me, I don't say this stuff, but people like random kids who don't do stuff that are definitely not as good as you and let you hurt your feelings. You're weak-minded, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We can't have a bunch of teenagers.
If he hears this podcast right now, he's gonna talk about it because he's gonna get pissed off.
If he hears about it and we get on ESPN, who cares?
That's right.
Yeah, like I've said before, I mean, I can't deny LeBron's talent, but I don't like LeBron. He holds back. And I can't deny Kevin Durant's talent, but he can't do nothing on his own. So that's where I'm at, and I'm glad Alex semi-agrees with me on that one.
I mean, my dad and I are Lakers fans, and we hate LeBron.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, we were mad when LeBron came to the Lakers. Everyone asked me, Drew, who's your favorite team? Lakers? Like, oh, you must be a LeBron fan. No, I'm a Kobe Lakers fan. Not LeBron.
Hell yeah.
Kobe Lakers.
Magic Lakers fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, anybody else got any rankings questions for me real quick?
Can I flip-flop on you real
Sure,
quick? Go the other way? Why do you have
Drew.
Karl Malone ahead of Stockton if you say you say Malone choked more than Stockton did, why do you have Malone then ahead?
I do, and there was actually a lot of thought put into that. I sat around and debated over it for a while, and I think it was just because, I mean, no two ways around it. In everyday play, Karl Malone is an elite scorer of the basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a lot of those scores came off assists from Mr. John Stockton, who is an elite passer of the basketball. So I think where it came across to me was, Karl Malone is also a great rebounder. Not just an okay rebounder like Dirk or somebody like that. He is a great rebounder. And it's just the scoring was so overwhelming. I think that's why I ended up going with Karl Malone, even though there was a great debate.
Yeah, I think Karl Malone was like 25 and
25 and 10.
Yeah. for his career. So that well, his the second time all leading scorer for a reason. But most of his points came from Stockton passing in the ball. So
True.
But most of Stockton's assists came from Karl Malone.
no,
making
yeah.
shots.
So it goes both ways.
It's the chicken
But
and egg.
I thought that was the most
thing.
interesting one.
Although I will say this, I was actually talking to Mark about this morning. I think without the other one, they both would have still been great. They just may not have been as great.
Right. I agree. Yeah, I think they were both really good players, beyond a shadow of a doubt, and they just came together at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
so
Anybody else?
No, I think those are all the ones that really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
Well, I have a few more things on old Johnny Stockton real quick. You realize over his 19-year career, he only missed 23 games for injury?
I'll give him props for
Wow.
that.
I'll give
Some
him,
people miss 23 a year nowadays.
Yeah, that's no joke.
even for no injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard.
Gotta rest my knee.
Anthony
Wade.
Davis.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you that one. AD rest.
Of the 6 highest assist total seasons, John Stockton has 5 of them.
Yeah. True that.
Okay, we talked about Steve Nash's MVPs in a couple episodes ago. Do you realize that John Stockton statistically and clearly statistically has 4 seasons better than either one of Nash's MVP seasons?
Was it the
I
Patrick?
believe it.
Yeah.
Was it the Patrick Ewing episode where Stockton was in one of those years when Ewing was too? It was like,
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
like Michael, Malone, Stockton, just a bunch of them are crazy stats that could have won a bunch of other MVPs, but that year they couldn't. Like you could have had, I think the top 10 all had great seasons. You could just pick one.
Well, here, I'll give you this, okay? This is back-to-back seasons for John Stockton. 17 points, 3 rebounds, 13 assists, 3 steals, not really any blocks, 53. He only shot 24% from 3 this year. It was the worst year of his career. 86% from the free throw line. Then the very next year, he said, hold on, I got you. 17 points, 2 rebounds, 14 assists, 2 steals, 51, 41, 82.
Hell yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So, and look, his career averages are pretty crazy. He's a 51.5% from the field for his career, 38% from 3. If he played today, they'd be like, hey, dude, you need to shoot 8 to 10 a game. Not 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he'd shoot way more. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Isaiah Thomas, in his career, had a losing record against John Stockton, 8-11.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd was 8-20 against John Stockton.
Okay.
Gary Payton was 22-27. Those guys played each other a lot.
They probably met a lot in the
Well,
finals.
Western Conference.
Yeah, Western Conference
Out
stuff.
west.
And Steve Nash was 8-14. All of these all-time great point guards had losing records against John Stockton. I did, just for shits and giggles, because I obviously have him ranked higher than him, looked up the record of John Stockton and Magic Johnson. And it was like 28-6 for Magic.
Oh, okay.
Magic predominantly won all those games. But like I said, I don't have Stockton ahead of Magic, so. But yeah, that's my little Stockton stats there.
Okay.
All right.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt John Stockton is, I think you hit it right on the head. He is the prototypical point guard.
Yeah.
He really is. The guys that I have ahead of him at point guard are different. It's Magic, it's Oscar, Isaiah, you know.
Not your typical mold for a point guard, I would say.
I just got a few playoff things for you guys here real quick. I'm just looking at it. So in let's see here. Sorry here. In 1988, he lost in the playoffs to Magic Johnson's Lakers. In that series, he averaged 19 points and 16 assists
Oh, wow.
on 50% shooting
Hey.
and lost.
And lost. Yeah.
Somebody didn't do their job, but it wasn't John Stockton.
Right.
The very next year, they lose to the Warriors, and I'm not 100% sure who was on that Warriors team. But John Stockton averaged 27 points, 13 assists on 51% shooting,
Wow.
Damn.
and they lost.
Man, who was on that Warriors team?
That was 89, so that would have probably been Run DMC.
Oh, yeah.
Right at the start, huh?
Yeah. But 27 and 13?
Man.
What was Malone doing?
Right?
Yeah.
And then we
And who
go.
else was on the team besides those two?
Then they lose to Phoenix in 1990, where John Stockton averages 15 and 15.
Hmm.
So the worst series he's had so far, as far as this, but still 15 and 15. Then the next year, they lose to Portland on Portland's way to the NBA Finals. That's right, 91. That would have been
Yeah.
Portland, where Stockton averages 18 and 14
Wow.
on
Son of a
47%.
bitch. That's ridiculous.
Like, this guy upped his game in the
Oh, yeah.
playoffs year in and year out. Even his very last year in the playoffs, he's averaging 12 and 10, and as a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's crazy to me. In the Western Conference Finals in '97, to beat Houston, he averages 20 points and 10 assists on 54% shooting. And then he goes to the finals and averages 15 and 8 on 50% shooting. So not overwhelming, but still nice series.
And what's crazy to me is that we have this phenomenal player called John Stockton who's putting up these crazy numbers in the playoffs, doesn't rest, but yet we have other present stars who has to rest, and pristine and bougie-ass players to put up numbers like this in the playoffs. But we have this monumental legend of a point guard called John Stockton who just like, whatever, bitch, we ain't on that level, and putting up numbers like this. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, 23 games in 19 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got season after season just playing 82 games and
Yeah.
then making these deep playoff runs.
Yeah, and making deep playoff runs.
And now they talk about some of them not even playing all the games and then out the playoffs. Oh, my body is just so. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, and when they did the bubble, yeah, they talk about having the quick start. Well, you just took 4 months off before that, and some of the players had that longer break from when it ended then.
Yeah.
Before they went to the bubble, and they were still complaining about.
Indeed.
And then you got people like, want to, argue about who's the greatest player of all time. You ain't even on the level on who's in the top 10 of all time. So don't even come at these players like that. Like, these are some grit and grind, hardcore players of the 90s and the 80s, and you're not even on that level.
And they were taking more abuse than what than at all. They don't take enough abuse in their whole career and what some of these players did in a whole season.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
Exactly.
Well, just looking at the games on Stockton's list there, 16 of his 19 seasons, he played all 82 games.
Yeah.
Those 23 games you talked about were in 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm. Which, if you look, is more than 23 games, but he missed a couple games here and there for bursts of children
Oh.
and stupid stuff like that.
Well,
Not
he
stupid
did have
stuff.
about 20, didn't he?
I shouldn't say stupid stuff. That's rude. But for stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, only 23 games due to injury in his
Right,
career.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still not that. He still didn't miss that many games.
No, it's just a handful
No,
more.
It's
than
just
that.
a handful.
If you only miss 23 games and some of them are because your child's being born, I'll excuse that. I mean, let's be
We
real.
all, we all miss work when our kids are born.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we can't. Yeah, that's fine.
So
Well, and I'll credit him for being a family man. I mean, he did drive the minivan to the. He had to have the strollers in the car when he went to the Dream Team to Barcelona. The wife and kids were with him.
I want
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
He said, "Enterprise, give me that minivan and the strollers, and we'll be good to go."
just another little tidbit. Gary Payton said John Stockton was the toughest player to play of his entire career. and that no amount of trash talk affected John Stockton, and that during basketball games, as much trash talk as he gave John Stockton never spoke back to him. I've heard multiple guys say that John Stockton never talked to him on the basketball court.
Yeah, that just wasn't his.
You don't need to when you're whooping your ass.
Yeah, he just did his job.
Just let the game do it for him.
But guys also say that John Stockton was probably the most physical point guard they ever played against.
Yeah.
And he was not afraid to give you those bows.
Yep. Grab the jersey, tug, pull, whatever.
I saw that in the Last Dance. I saw him grabbing it. Which, I mean, when you're at 6'1", you got to do something. You're not taller than everybody. You at least got to be physical. So
You got to improvise. That is the key word, improvise on your game.
he was doing what was allowed back then. If they're going to let him shove and grab, why not do it? I mean,
Exactly.
Under the basket, they were doing a lot more than that.
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah.
Hey, man, here's the other thing, though. He was shoving you and pulling you as you were trying to go around a screen from a brick shithouse named Karl Malone.
Right,
Yeah.
Who was
exactly.
built like Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah,
Jeez, man. Karl Malone was jacked.
he was.
He was ripped.
Yeah.
That was one big man.
I don't even know if I care about win shares, man. But I just keep seeing this number, 207. Have we seen a number over 150?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We don't know how they're calculated, but 207 sounds like a lot.
Yeah, Allen Iverson had 99.
Right, yeah.
Scottie Pippen has 6 championships, and his was 120. 207 win shares.
Fuck your Lakers. I don't care about that.
LeBron, 39, 5 and 6.
Yeah. What did he score? Like 6 points in overtime? Yeah.
Oh, y'all went to OT?
Yeah.
Lakers won
Son of a
124,
bitch.
160.
Back to 500. Oh, boy.
That we're about 4 games under.
All right, Ray. We got to have this conversation about old J. Kidd and John
Okay,
Stockton.
Let's go.
So I'm going to pull them up side by side so I don't misquote any of this. But
I also want to hear.
you put me off by an episode by telling me we could have this conversation today instead of last week.
Hey, that's fine.
And afterwards, I want to hear why you have Steve Nash ahead of Stockton.
I already said that. That's a lapse in judgment.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Okay.
So, J. Kidd, John Stockton, what you got?
I think Jason Kidd is probably the most balanced player. John Stockton's probably got the most stat line. They're pretty head to head. The title probably propulses Jason Kidd up a little bit. Where I have John Stockton's probably not fair to him because he probably earns a little bit more respect than that, and that's my apologies. Like I said in my intro, the competition that he went against in that 90s era probably earned him a little more respect than what I gave him, especially above fucking Charles Oakley, which I'm very, very sorry. I'm very, very sorry, John Stockton. I'm very sorry. But he ought to be up a little bit. But the title kind of shuts him down just a small section. Because with those 2 stat lines that he completely dominates, he should at least won one out of the 2 titles that he won against Jordan. Which I'm not saying.
That's a big ask, man.
I'm saying. But he should at least got one out of the 2. But it didn't happen because he's going against Jordan. Now we look at, the era of basketball that we're in now, and we look at LeBron. Yeah. We don't get that kind of competition from that era.
Everyone wins the title now.
Yeah, everybody wins a title. But in the 90s, it was either Jordan or Elijah won. And that was the competition that we had. It was greatness or bust. And I kind of feel that the way John Stockton's stat line went and the way he played point guard, he should at least won one title And if that would have put him, and on my list, that would have propelled him probably in the top 10, within the top 15.
Okay.
Well, I will say if we put our expectations of should have beat Michael Jordan, we're gonna hold a lot of people back.
I'm saying, yeah.
A lot of people are going to be.
I'm saying. But there was a lot of competition in the 90s.
So
There's
let me
a
ask you
lot of
this.
people on the list on the 90s, though, too.
Why do you have Malone so much higher than Stockton?
I just feel he was just that more dominant than Stockton was. I mean, he could create his own shot. He could, rebound. He wasn't the greatest defender, but he could, defend you. He wasn't the greatest assist player, but he could pass the ball. I mean, he was an all-around balanced player. Stockton was pretty close behind, but I feel like when you're locking down two stat totals, you should probably be winning a couple titles here.
All right, so I want to go back to the Jason Kidd one before we get too far away from it.
Okay.
I know you said the title, which he did go in and join up with another superstar to do that, by the way.
Okay.
But I guess the big thing for me is just efficiency here. I mean, yeah, he does average a few more assists and points and steals and stuff, but he shoots 11% better from the field, 4% better from three, 4% better from the free throw line. That's a lot of efficiency. I mean, 11% is a lot. You don't think maybe Stockton maybe brought more to the table in that aspect?
I mean, he might have brought more to the table, but he sure the hell didn't win.
Well, yes, but you're the one that knocks eras.
I do.
I mean, Kidd won his title in what, 12, 11?
11, I think. Yeah, because the Heat won.
2011?
11.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much now's era. I mean,
that's close. Yeah. But, I mean, it's pretty sad that, broke down Jason Kidd in 2011 is whooping your ass in the finals.
I think Dirk was whooping their ass in the finals.
Well, I will say one thing, Alex. You say how Kidd went with another superstar. Well, Stockton had a superstar too.
Yeah,
they both had a superstar power forward to help him win. So I'll give Ray that.
Malone was there. I'm saying he didn't go seek Malone out and sign up to play with him. That's what I was saying.
I mean, I got you on that one. I agree with that. But I mean, with Jason Kidd winning the title, and I know we've talked about titles, and I've shit on titles numerous times, but Jason Kidd winning that title is probably more of a big deal, and John Stockton not winning his is probably a bigger deal. I think John Stockton should have probably had at least one out of the two.
Okay. So, what's your argument for Gary Payton being ahead of him?
I think Gary Payton's more of a grit and grind kind of guy, and that's what I prefer.
Doesn't John Stockton like the embodiment of grit and grind?
Not exactly. He's more the textbook, basic pick and roll. Let's play the playbook kind of guy. Gary Payton's more the defense orientated. Let's psychologically take you out of the game. More the unorthodox type of player, and that's what I'm more biased towards, I guess. So maybe my biased opinion towards Gary Payton is a little bit above John Stockton.
But as I just said, Gary Payton couldn't psychologically mess with John Stockton.
Yeah, well, 3 games.
3 games?
What'd you say, 24-27?
Yeah, something like that. But I mean,
yeah, that's 3 games.
I mean, he won 3 more games than him, yes. But I mean, he was talking about how it was the toughest match of his career because he couldn't get in his head.
Well, that's fine. We can talk about what Gary Payton said, but it's only 3 games difference between the 2 matchups. So, I mean, Gary Payton can say what he wants to say, but it's only 3 games between the 2 records.
So I guess what I'm asking is what is Payton bringing to the table that Stockton's not?
A little bit more defense, I think. I mean, we see the steals list. That's fine. But I think Gary Payton's a little bit more better defender, better scorer. The assist goes to John Stockton hands down. But, I mean, I think Gary Payton's a little bit more rounded out player.
We just don't agree on point guards, right?
We don't. We
don't.
Probably never will.
Yeah. And if you would have said Gary Payton's title, I would have
No, I'm not
fallen out of my chair.
There's no fucking way I'm counting that title on any planet, on any universe.
That's for me to tell. That's just for me to tell Wade Gary Payton has the titles.
No, there's no way.
That's the only thing it's here
if
for.
Gary Payton would have won a title with Seattle, then we're talking something. But
That is
there's
true.
no way I'm talking about Gary
If him and
Payton's
Sean
title.
Kemp would have got a title.
There's no way. Unless he would have won to Sean Kemp, then we're talking. But if he didn't win to Sean Kemp, then we ain't talking shit.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll leave you alone, Ray.
I mean, you don't have to.
I obviously don't agree on any of those. But I listened.
I mean, I got some Q-tips in the back if you want to stick them in your ears.
Oh, okay.
Well, while you guys were discussing, I was looking at some comparisons of the two. And USA Basketball did a poll of these two against each other.
Which two are we talking about?
Kidd and Stockton.
Oh, Kidd and Stockton, got you.
And so far, you can still vote. So far, it's Stockton 58, Kidd 42.
Okay.
Which, to be honest with you, I'm a little surprised because I don't know if we talked about this on air or off air, but Stockton is sometimes a forgotten player. Stockton played in Utah his whole career.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is USA Basketball, so this is probably people that know a
So
little bit more about basketball.
also it's not.
I mean, you can vote. We can vote,
okay, that's what I was
but
gonna
it's
say.
on USA Basketball's site. So it's
Okay.
not something, like the New York Times is doing.
Right.
Where they're calling Joe Blow that doesn't know anything.
Joe Blow.
Well. So, just thought I'd throw that out there. We're not the only ones debating that.
But they still do think Stockton's better than Kidd by a little bit. As we watch Ray pull up and go vote for Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd was a more up-tempo, exciting player.
He did play at a faster pace. That is true. Which you could also make the case, though, that inflates your stats. And
Right.
if he had to play at a slow pace like Stockton, his stats would have gone down.
I mean, that's true. It's a major debate.
We
here.
haven't talked about that in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, the inflation. Yeah,
The good old inflation.
that is a good debate.
Indeed. Well, I'm trying to look and see. Drew, you have AI rated ahead of John Stockton.
I think Ray does too.
I do, but I mean, that's a fucking stupid
I think
thing.
I do it because AI has won an MVP and he scores way more than John Stockton. So I think that's why I have him higher. How much higher is he? Is he a lot?
You have Stockton at 33 and Iverson at 21, so 12,
Ooh.
12 spots.
Oh, it's a lot higher than what I thought. Okay. Yeah, but I'm guessing it's that reason because Iverson got an MVP and he scored 26 for his career.
Yeah, he does double him in points.
And their steals, they're the same.
Oh yeah, I got Allen Iverson. as
Yeah, but
17.
let's not confuse it, though. Allen Iverson's
Yeah.
not a good defender, and
That's
John Stockton
Yeah.
is a great defender.
That's the play I talked about earlier, how they played the passing lanes.
Yeah,
against-
I've
yes.
got Iverson higher than Stockton, too. And, again, it's something I need to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we went more in depth than Allen Iverson.
We're at 9% on their field goal percentage difference.
Yeah, he's
7% on three, 4% on free throw.
Well, I mean, to be honest, we probably all, outside of Alex, fell into the John Stockton just kind of, not flashy, not, he just got the job done better than anybody, almost anybody else.
Yeah, almost.
Here's the real kicker, Drew. Why do you have Bob Pettit ahead of John
What
Stockton?
do you mean why we have Bob Pettit? He scored more than his running mate, and he delivered.
On Sunday?
He delivered 7 days a week, 24 hours. He beat Bill Russell and the Celtics for a title. He won the first MVP.
Okay.
Bob Pettit, I'm telling you.
I just want to say, though, I want, in the Bill Russell episode, it needs to be brought up that it is a feat of career definingness that you won one championship while Bill Russell played basketball.
Yeah.
Seriously, like that's what we're talking about right now. And I'm not picking on Bob. I'm just saying, like, we're like, dude, Bob Pettit won one damn championship during Russell's 13-year career, and that is a accomplishment that defines your career.
Well, you can't tell me any of Bill Russell's teams were not better than Bob Pettit's teams. Like, let's be honest. Who else do we know at the top of our head that were on those St. Louis Hawks teams with Bob Pettit?
Drew, all I want to say right now is that John Stockton averaged 7 more assists a game than Bob Pettit. I'm just saying.
I hope so. Bob Pettit's power forward. Again, he doubles John Stockton's points, rebounds.
Dude, 16. Bob Pettit shot as many times a game as Allen Iverson, and only shot 1% better.
He's better than Iverson at shooting, and that doesn't tell you anything how bad AI was shooting from the field. But Bob Pettit is better than
We
John
got a lot of
Stockton.
things to do after this is over, don't we?
Bob Pettit will stay
Oh,
ahead.
gosh.
I don't know, man. I can't do it. I
can do it all night.
Wade has Bob Pettit at like 49 or 50.
He does.
Yeah.
The worst thing Wade did to me was when he said, "Who in the H is Paul A?"
Yeah.
He did me dirty when he said that.
He has Bob Pettit at 47. Wade does.
It's ridiculous. Ray doesn't even have him.
You're damn right.
He's better than Charles Oakley.
That might
Yeah,
be,
he
but
is.
we're not going
He
to talk
is.
about tonight.
Yeah, he's better than Charles Oakley.
But nobody's got Giannis on your nobody's got Giannis on your list, and that's who I'm putting on mine. So
I'm not gonna lie to you. Giannis has a good chance of springing himself
Yeah,
on
he
my
does.
list.
Yeah, Giannis has a chance. Now, by the time we get down to the series, the next NBA Finals could be over, and he could do something totally dumb, or he could win it again.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be doing this by the time the finals, because the finals are
God.
in June.
Oh, wait, yeah. I always
probably
forget
another
they go all the way to June. I think April
25
when they start.
episodes. So another 6 months.
Oh, so
Oh, well.
we'll be close.
yeah, we have a nice little conclusion to the series.
Yeah. if he gets
the
the
season
first-
will be over.
Well, if he has a first
Yeah.
round exit or if something dumb happens between now and then. With
Who,
him.
Giannis?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
Or
Yeah.
it could affect a lot of the players we're going to talk about. KD.
But it could affect a ton of players, and like you said, LeBron could get another title, KD could get another title, CP3 could get a title,
Right.
Steph could get another title, Giannis could get another title.
Steph could get a title and the Finals MVP. But hold up, Iguodala's on the team.
But you know who? Won't win?
Hell
a title?
yeah!
You know who won't win a title? Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, that's right. Kawhi Leonard's
And I'm
not.
gonna bet just a nice bet here. Neither will Russ.
Yeah. I think
If the
you're right.
Lakers win a title, it'll be because Russ went home.
It's because they traded him. Look how much the Wizards got better without Russ.
That is very true.
I mean, they did make the playoffs, but not the 1 seed. Oh, man. Anyone else on my list? Or
I left your list. Actually, I was looking at my own.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little
you
like
were
that.
thinking about how high you were going to put Bob Pettit up on your list.
No, I was thinking of how low I could put him without leaving the list. I didn't know.
Whoa!
Where is old Pettit on my list? Old Bobby. Can't find him. Oh, this is Drew's
That's my
list. No,
list.
that's Drew's list. Damn it.
You're looking too.
Oh, Pettit's 29 on my list.
It's respectable. I'll give it. At least you put him in the top 30.
So he's 13 on your list. Yeah.
Yeah, he's above the mailman. He's
Wow,
above the mailman.
that's devastating.
Got that title. Just like you wanted, right?
Yeah, I know.
And Bob delivered 7 days a week, 24 hours.
Well, I don't think I have any more questions as far as your list goes. Oh, Bobby Pettit. I can't believe he got brought up again.
Just wait till Christmas when all you guys get a shirt with Bob Pettit's jersey on a goat.
I'm telling you this right now. You're not getting anything Bob Pettit from me.
I bet that Frenchman that watches this podcast every week has probably got a drinking game that every time he hears Bob Pettit, he takes a shot. I swear to
He's
God.
probably been doing good lately, but he's about to go down
at
the hill.
at the beginning, he was probably hammered at the end of every episode.
Yeah, I swear.
Well, I used to say it every episode, then I kind of slowed down. But now it's TikToks and Bob Pettit again.
Yep. Shout out to the Frenchman that watches this podcast.
Yeah, we appreciate you very much. So do we want to get of our closing statements on old John Stockton?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So we started with Ray last time, so I guess I'll go first. Like I said earlier, I think John Stockton is the mold you use when you want a point guard. And if you could clone John Stockton, I do believe there's a lot of teams out there that would take him as their point guard, including whatever team I would be running. I think they should let me run a team. I'm pretty smart. But I do like John Stockton. Unlike last episode with Jason Kidd, though, I didn't find John Stockton like overly exciting. I didn't find him like, oh my God. That right there. I didn't say oh my God a lot watching John Stockton. It was just like, well, there's another bucket. Oh, yep. There's another bucket. Like, oh, they did it again. They said, hey, we're going to run the pick and roll with John Stockton and Karl Malone. Try and stop it, and you didn't. And you didn't again. And you didn't again. No, but John Stockton, I think, is all-time great. I realized that I would probably have him ranked a little bit higher than other guys, but I knew I was going to have to defend it, but I feel comfortable with it. Uncle Doug?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think John Stockton is the prototypical point guard. The guys I've got ahead of him have titles and are different. They do different things, maybe a different skill set, as Ray has mentioned before. John Stockton is a great, great basketball player.
All right, and that's Drew.
Well, basically what you two said. He's the mold of a point guard, and the people that have him have more accolades, and they're not your typical point guards. Magic Johnson at 6'9" is not your typical point guard you're going to see every day. Hate to tell you, no one else has done it since, I don't think. They try and say LeBron has. No, he hasn't. Not even close. But yeah, and Stockton leads to the five main categories that we talk about all the time. So I think that's a crazy cool accomplishment. The only person that ever do that. So far, I don't see anyone ever doing it anytime soon. But
depends on how long LeBron plays.
Yeah, which I'm telling you, he wants the points one, but play with Bronny and get the points. That's what he's waiting on.
He's not going to be able to get the assist one.
No way. Chris Paul's not even close, and he's behind him, so there's no way. Yeah, that's what I got for Stockton.
And Ray?
Like I've already said, John Stockton is a phenomenal player. When you own in 2 out of the 5 major stat points, I mean, you can't beat that guy. But there comes a time when you own 2 out of the 5 stat points, you've got to win something. And that's where I was at. I mean, I know I've, shit on titles episode after episode, but when you have that kind of talent, you've got to show me something. Just like I say about Kevin Durant, when you bitch out and go and, go to other teams with multiple superstars, I know you get titles, but you've got to show me something by yourself. So that's where I'm at with John Stockton. So, I mean, if I have Jason Kidd ahead of John Stockton, and it's because of the title, it's not because I like the title situation or the discussion, but when you throw up that much stats, you've got to win me something. And that's pretty much where I'm at on my discussion with John Stockton.
All right. Well, that will end our John Stockton portion of this episode and move us into trivia.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
In 2016, what player was first team All-NBA but didn't make the All-Star game?
Son of a bitch.
First team All-NBA and didn't make the All-Star team.
Yes.
So, as we talked about with John Stockton earlier, I was All-NBA but I didn't make the All-Star team.
Yeah.
2016. That is random. We'll go with this one.
I got to guess.
All right, we'll go with this one. Holy crap!
Uncle Doug is over here looking lost. I wish we had a video to show Uncle Doug's face.
I wish we had like a cam for just like 10
I had
seconds.
no
just
idea.
to show people's faces.
Yeah.
'Cause some of our reactions and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie.
priceless.
There's been some things said a lot by Ray over the last year that when he says it, the probably the look on my face will be pretty good on video too. Like,
Yeah.
the
Like
fuck did
tonight
you
when
say?
we said Charles Oakley was higher than
Yeah.
Alex just
I don't even have a guess, guys. I'm not even going to hold you up. Just go ahead.
Okay.
All right. I said Marc Gasol.
Okay.
Draymond Green.
Okay.
I don't even have a guess.
DeAndre Jordan.
What?
He was first team All NBA.
Yep. First team All NBA.
I'm more surprised about that than him not making the All-Star.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that. I'm glad.
That is so odd.
Did a bunch of centers in the league get hurt?
Yeah.
First team?
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Wow, that shows the era of center he was playing in right there.
Yep.
All right, who wants to go next?
Oh God. I'll go ahead. Let me pull up my shit here. DeAndre Jordan. All right. Name any of the 4 Arizona State University players to appear in a game for the Phoenix Suns. There's 4 options.
And we said name one of them.
Yeah, you can name one of them. Name any of the 4 Arizona State University players to appear in a game for the Phoenix Suns.
I keep thinking of actual Arizona players
Yeah, I do too.
and not Arizona State.
Right, yeah, no. Arizona I could do.
Well, I
Arizona
thought
State.
I thought I want Arizona State player, but he hasn't played for the Suns.
James Harden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why when you said Arizona State, I said, "Oh, James Harden." And then you said that, I said, "Nope, not him."
Mm-hmm.
About to just guess 4 Suns.
Yeah, because what? DeAndre Ayton played at Arizona.
Right.
Yeah.
Channing Frye played at Arizona.
You'll probably know 2 of them. The other 2 you probably won't.
Man.
Coach Schrader? He played for... No.
I'm writing it down just in case if it's something dumb.
Drew's freshman year, his basketball coach played for Arizona State.
Mm.
And he got drafted by the Suns, so I'm writing it down just in case. I ain't taking no chances.
And you got a gimme from me last episode, so you ain't getting it this time.
You had no idea that he coached me, so you never know, Ray.
I know
I'm
what
at
my
a loss
answer
here.
says, so I know what I got to work with.
I'm writing it down just in case.
Okay.
I can't even think of an Arizona State player other than Harden.
I'm just writing.
I got
Suns
one.
Players now. I'm writing 4 of them down just in case. if I can just hit one. Yeah, some people are gonna probably call me stupid after I'm writing some of these names down. And don't worry, it's not Steve Nash.
Well, we hope not, because he's Canadian.
He played at Santa Clara.
Yeah.
And actually, he's from South Africa.
Well, true. You're so right about that.
Man, I can't think of
No.
Arizona State player. I keep writing down the Arizona players.
Oh.
This is the longest trivia question break we've ever taken.
Just go with your gut, Alex.
Joe Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, you lucky bastard on that one. I can't believe you got that one still. That's burning my asshole still to this day.
You changed your diet, right?
I know.
I got 4. Don't think any of them are right.
I
but
got 2.
Here we go.
All right, I got an answer.
All right. Let's go.
All right, I said Coach Schrader and Byron Scott.
Okay.
I said James Jones.
Okay.
Marius Odemeyer, Miles Bridges, Sean Marion, and Jack Schrader.
Okay, the 4 players that I have on my list here on this book that I bought from Amazon is, just like to let everybody know where I'm at, Mario Bennett, Eddie House, Jim Owens, and Paul Stovall. Yeah. So thank you, Amazon Kindle, for giving me these 4 answers.
Marion played in Vegas, and Mari came out of high school.
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, Marion played at UNLV, didn't he?
What?
Was he on
Marion
that?
played at UNLV, didn't he?
Was he on that team that was undefeated when they went to the tournament?
No.
No.
Marion wasn't on that team. He might have been at UNLV, but he wasn't on that team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just trying to think of Suns players that I wasn't for sure where they went to college. I wrote them down just in case.
I didn't know that Coach Schrader was drafted by the Suns.
Yep, he was drafted by the Suns.
I knew he played in Spain, but
Oh, yeah, he played in Spain for 8 years.
But did he play for the Suns?
evidently not.
Yeah.
No, well, I guess not. He was drafted by him, but I guess he never.
But that was the only Arizona State player I could really think of.
Okay.
I've seen the video of it, so it's for real. He had
Okay.
long blonde hair. Number 15, he was like, he's 6'10".
All right.
All right.
All right, me?
Yep.
Well, I'm doing last week I did a draft theme. This week I'm going to do a draft theme. John Stockton was in the 84 draft.
Oh, boy.
One of the greatest drafts of all time.
Yep.
Stockton was 16. We all know Elijah Wan was 1. I believe we had a trivia question earlier this year about who was 2, and that was Sam Bowie.
Yep.
Yeah.
MJ was 3. Who's 4?
Oh, Lord.
And I will tell you that Sir Charles was 5.
Crap.
So this guy was drafted between MJ and Sir Charles.
Every documentary ever goes, Elijah 1, Sam Bowie 2, Michael 3, and then we cut to clips of Michael
Yeah.
Duncan
Yeah.
and doing
Yeah.
all this crap. We don't ever talk about number 4.
That's why I picked it.
This better not be some person I know.
No, because he.
Well, I
was the
assume it
year
would be
before.
somebody we know. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have asked.
Damn it! He was the year before. I can put him down. Fuck.
Man.
Well, Rockets. Sam Bowie went to the Supersonics or the Trailblazers.
Portland.
I think he went to Portland. I
He
think Bowie went to Portland.
I knew it was Portland or. And then.
Man, I'm really drawing a blank on this one, too. This is a
my
bad
gosh.
episode.
Wow.
Good for Wade.
I don't accept your question. Or your half-assed question, Ray.
No, it's not half-assed. You just didn't know it. Don't fucking give me excuses.
I guess you got a bonus point for naming an Arizona State
I still
player.
don't know it, Ray. You could ask me it again. I still wouldn't get it.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking
I think I
about.
could
That's a
honestly-
hell of a question.
What did you say, Rick Stubble or something?
I know Mario Bennett just because it's Mario.
It was Mario Herpy. I don't know what his name was.
I don't know this one either. I stand.
Yeah, this is rough.
I'm trying to think of someone who just played basketball in that time period. That's what
Yeah.
I do.
I have no clue. This is rough.
This is a really rough night, guys.
Yeah, Alex and I we got a couple last week. We haven't got any. Yeah, we haven't scored any this week.
Well, it must be nice because I haven't seen a fucking point in like 12 weeks.
Mine have slowed down here recently.
This is rough. I guess I need to answer.
Yeah, just throw something on there. You'll probably get it.
All right, I'm ready.
What you got, guys? Let's see.
I put Daughtery.
I put Clyde. I know it's not right. But
I just said Robinson.
How about Sam Perkins?
Oh, Big Smooth.
Yeah.
Damn you.
Kind
Would
of
never
a bummer.
guessed your ass.
Kind of a bummer he went in front of Barkley, but
Yeah, no kidding.
Big Smooth. Damn you.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite players.
did Seattle draft him?
I think it was.
It might have been,
It
yeah.
does sound
Yeah.
All right. So that leaves me, guys.
Yep.
And my question is this. Currently in the NBA, Rudy Gobert is leading the NBA in rebounds per game at 14.9.
oh, jeez.
Who is 2 and 3?
Rudy Gobert's still trash.
Maybe we'll have to add Rudy Gobert to our list at the end of this, guys.
Not tonight.
He's a
Not mine.
he's
Nope.
he's 3-time defensive player of the year, guys.
Bob Pettit's still better.
I bet he's top 250 in something, unlike Kawhi Leonard.
2 and 3,
Oh
correct?
my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I have an answer. It's not very good. But
And? Oh. All right, I'm ready.
All right. Since everybody's locked in, who's the player on the Knicks? Their big guy.
Julius Randle.
Randall.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. I'm locked in.
All right, I said Giannis and Joker.
I said Clint Capella and Ayton.
I said the Joker and Randall.
Well, number 2 is the Joker. Number 3 is Jonas Valanciunas.
Oh, jeez.
Capella is 4 and Giannis is 5.
Okay. Well, we're on the list.
Yeah,
We're there.
we got there.
We're there.
We got a half a point that doesn't count.
So, after this week, we go scoreless. I'll read you the scores anyway. Ray with 18. Drew with 37. Uncle Doug with 39. Alex with 44. And Wade with 49. And Wade's lead was not cut into. So we appreciate you tuning in for this John Stockton episode. And we'd appreciate you to tune in next week for our episode on Elvin Hayes. And we appreciate your listen to Sports the Nemo Way.